Do you see now the difference in our power?
The last time we spoke about EVO and Sony, I was talking about how those things are moving into position to basically have like a secure foundation over the FGC. We see that EVO started off as one tournament. You talk about EVO Vegas, then expanded in 2019 to add EVO Japan. Then we see last year they announced EVO France and Singapore. These guys are expanding their reach to become global. And also we know that the prices of their tickets has increased. Some people can remember the days where tickets were like 60, some people 200, but now it's 400. We know their advertisement, like sponsors and whatnot, are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. They're making a lot of money and they seem to be so successful. This is the first reason why Sony purchased them. Back in about 2021, their leader at the time had a little bit of allegations against him. He stepped down, and it's Sony seen that as an opportunity to get in there. Now, keep in mind, when Sony purchased EVO, Nintendo was very angry about that. And that is when they pulled out of the company because they're not going to have Smash, which I know people consider Smash to be not a fighting game. But when Smash is at EVO, it's the biggest game. So Nintendo was like, there's no way we're going to headline a Sony event. So they pulled out. Harada tried to get them to stay. Street Fighter, a lot of people tried to get them to stay. And we just know that the rivalry between Nintendo and PlayStation is just too intense. Now, here's the thing. PlayStation didn't just purchase Sony and that was it. We saw this year they announced a fight stick, and then they also announced that they're backing Marvel Token. They're supporting this game financially. Players were just celebrating how Sony is so in love with the FGC and is supporting it so heavily. Now, today we have Sony sells co-ownership of EVO to Nodwin Gaming, an Indian-based esports group. Also a Sony-backed company which specializes in producing events for PUBG and Valorant. So maybe this is a strategic move because this company does other esports like Valorant and PUBG. So now they're a part of the FGC, and Sony seems like they're just passing over control, but are still basically supporting them and supporting the FGC. It says Nodwin Gaming will join RTS in co-ownership of EVO. Sony will continue to support EVO as a sponsor and partner through PlayStation Tournaments platforms and key products that appeal to fighting game players. RTS is a company that is co-ran by Pokimane. You know the streamer Pokimane? She has a business partner who's like very into like events and you know esports, and both of those guys created RTS, and that's the other owner of EVO. On their website, EVO takes a major step forward as the world's largest and longest running fighting game festival enters new ownership and a multi-year partnerships. Strategic agreements with Nodwin Gaming and Sony and RTS will drive EVO's international expansion, engaging content and immersive experiences through 2028 and beyond. EVO was built by a team whose authenticity and passion for fighting games community are unmatched. That's what Nodwin Gaming, the co-founder and managing director, said. We will continue great work and honor the legacy of everyone who made it what it is today, while opening the doors for a new generation to experience the spirit of EVO. The final quote that I'll read, it says, in recent years, EVO hosted record-setting events in the USA, Japan, and our upcoming premiere in France already breaking European records. These latest partnerships join the ongoing support from our global and regional partnership in accelerating EVO's expansion from hosting live events to serving a nexus point for fighting game culture worldwide. This comes from Rick, the general manager. This guy also does work at Combo Breaker. I believe it's called DreamHack, and just other tournaments, right? Other tournaments that you see has a lot of the same faces like helping those events do what it does, right?